Okay, Nata, do you want the good news or the bad news? I guess the bad news first. Well, we're going to kill Arkveld again. What? Oh, come on! What's the good news then? Well, we're going to kill Arkveld again. That's supposed to be the good news! Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, the final update approacheth for Monster Hunter Wilds extremely soon after this video goes up. And while we of course will go in depth on all the new equipment and stuff once it releases, it's nice to give ourselves a little bit of a refresher on what we know will be involved, and give some proper time in the sun to the original Arkveld and Guardian Arkveld armor sets, and specifically their set bonuses especially, to go in detail on exactly what those do, because to be clear, while I am technically blind on the update, I know nothing about the actual contents of it beyond that there will be an arch-tempered monster, but it's not a hard leap to go from there to guess that it will be the flagship of Wilds, the technical apex monster of the 5th map, Arkveld. With that, I fully expect a Gamma Arkveld armor set to come with it, and possibly even a Gamma Guardian Arkveld set, as well as high-rank Arkveld also unlock the high-rank Guardian Arkveld armor on top of his own armor set too, so maybe we will get both as Gamma. Maybe we'll only get one. I have no idea right now, obviously, so let's talk about both of these sets in proper detail. We'll talk a bit about what to expect from Gamma versions of the sets, what they might actually do as far as the actual skills on them. I'll also explain what the set bonuses do and how good they are as of this point in Wild's endgame progression, especially because the balance of these, of which set bonus is actually better, has shifted quite a bit since the original launch of the game. Then with all of that, how likely is it that the Gamma versions of these would shake up current builds? Starting off then, let's look at the original armor sets. Arkveld set, just main regular Arkveld set itself, is a mix of heavy element focus through elemental absorption and convert element for dragon specific element shenanigans. It has some weakness exploit on it, and it also has recovery speed and some quick sheath. If I were to guess what an arch tempered Arkveld set might look like, I would expect them to lean even further into the recovery aspect of this, while potentially giving a couple of very efficient element pieces too. Something like the helmet of the base Arkveld Alpha set, but with proper decoration spaces, or even more skill ranks on it perhaps too. Then maybe one armor piece that is efficient for weakness exploit with some decoration space on it too. Then I think they might add a recovery up to the mix on top of the other skills on this too, on top of just recovery speed, so multiple recovery based skills together on the armor pieces, maybe even stick in some coalescence. Honestly, I could see something like free meal as well as a bit of a bonus, just because Arkveld's big thing is he consumes energy, and I could see that fitting the vibe or the theme that they might go with it. As for set and group bonus stuff, group bonus on arch tempered monster armor is always Lord Soul, so that would replace the one that it already has, and Lord Soul is so useful. It is the classic instant inclusion for most builds if possible, because it's not only a 5% raw attack boost that is active most of the time, but it also gives you one-shot protection once per life, which is a massive survival benefit as well. For the set bonus on Arkveld armor itself, it is Arkveld's Hunger. This set bonus heals you after a set number of hits, with the number of hits being specific to each weapon type, meaning faster weapons will require more hits, slower weapons require less hits, and the amount of healing you get is actually a little bit varied between the different weapon types as well. For the amounts, that is a little bit easier to explain. With the 2-set bonus, Greatsword, Hammer, Hunting Horn, and Gunlance heal for around 9% of maximum health. With 4-set bonus, it's around 13% of maximum health healed instead. For all other melee weapons, which is longsword, sword and shield, dual blades, lance, switch axe, charge blade, and insect glaive, they heal for 4% with the 2-set bonus, up to around 7% with the 4-set bonus. Then finally, the ranged weapons, bow and the bowguns, share the same values as each other as well, which is 2% of health restored with the 2-set bonus, and around 3% of health restored with the 4-set bonus. So ranged weapons definitely get the least out of this. As far as the frequency of the healing procs, it's actually a lot more complex than you might think. It changes depending on what specific attacks you actually use. And it's not like an exact motion value translation either that you need to reach or something like that. For example, on Sword and Shield, just to show how this works, if you were to do 5 chops, which is the neutral triangle attack, that's when you heal 1 time. Chop has a motion value of 19, so if it was motion value based, that would mean that the trigger is between 76 and 95 motion value applied. It also also takes 5 lateral slashes, which is the neutral circle input. This is 27 motion value per use, which means if it was motion value based and it was lateral slash, that would mean it would be between 108 and 135. So already it's in totally separate ranges, which shows that it probably isn't going to be motion values. But if you string combos together instead of just waiting to reset to neutral attacks, it gets even weirder. Full chop combo, which is 4 hits, into full lateral slash combo, which is 3 hits, back into the full chop combo for another 4 hits. It takes all 3 of those combos all the way to the end for a singular proc, which is again a total of 11 inputs, and that is way more. To drive home that it isn't motion values even further, this would be a total of 270 motion value worth of attacks, which is around triple the motion value of 5 chops, which also triggers a heal. So it's definitely not motion value. The next assumption that you might make is that it only happens every once in a while, like there is a timer that is required to pass before you can proc it again, like how Scorcher or White Flame Torrent work, where you can only trigger them every so often regardless of what else you do. But it's not that either, because if you purposefully slow down your attacks and really drag out the time between them, it still takes 5 chops. It's 5 chops if you do those 5 chops in 3 seconds, or if you do those 5 chops in 10 seconds. It's always 5 chops for whatever reason. Seemingly, attacks from neutral position, so the attacks that start combos, seem to have more value towards the proc compared to combo extenders, hence why it only takes 5 chops or lateral slashes, but takes 3 full combos if you go for full combos. But the point of all this is to just use one weapon as an example to say that it's very complex for all of them. But the long and short of it is you will probably trigger it once every 5 to 10 seconds of properly hitting monsters with your weapon, depending on which weapon type you use and what attacks you use as well. This doesn't have to be constant like it is with a skill like Burst. There's not like a timer where the effect will forget your previous hits, so there is no pressure to be extra aggressive to get this healing. So all in all, this is a very funky set bonus, but it's not bad by any means. If we end up having this set bonus because the armor itself is just so good that it's worth using, it will be a lovely bonus to have. But I wouldn't expect to be purposefully building around including the set bonus unless you really just want to focus on survivability, like if you're someone who likes building around immortal sets and healing to the point that you're like beyond the basic stuff like Divine Blessing and recovery skills in your 1-slot sockets. Final note being, before we move on to the next set though, is while mentioning recovery skills, Recovery Up, the skill that increases healing received, does increase the amount of healing that you get from this set bonus. So 3 ranks of Recovery Up is a 30% increase to the heals from attacking while using this set bonus, which might be extremely relevant, as again, I would not be surprised at all if Recovery Up were to come naturally on Gamma Arkveld armor. That said, let's move on to the second armor set of the day, Guardian Arkveld. So the original Guardian Arkveld set comes with loads of Flare, which was buffed a large amount in Title Update 4, as well as Weakness Exploit, which is a very desirable offensive skill for most weapons. Elemental Absorption, again, and then Part Breaker, and Blight Resistance on top of that. If I were going to guess, Arch-tempered version of Guardian Arkveld armor would probably focus on efficient stacking of Flare and Weakness Exploit as skills, probably being full ranks of both throughout the set. It would probably keep the Part Breaker as well from the base set, and maybe one piece of armor with efficient Elemental Absorption ranks as well, combined with some nice bonus decoration slots compared to the base version of the armor as well. Then maybe they might add Recovery Up to this one too, as just like the set bonus of regular Arkveld, the set bonus for Guardian Arkveld also scales with Recovery Up, and they have in the past done things that synergize with the set bonus when giving skills to Gamma sets. Beyond that, it would of course also get the Lord Soul group bonus like we talked about earlier, and then we have the set bonus Guardian Arkveld's Vitality. This is also a healing based set bonus, but unlike the first one we talked about, this heals you on a much more predictable and explainable basis, as the healing happens anytime that you destroy a wound on a large monster. This means it works exactly the same for every weapon type in every scenario, and there is no ambiguity about that part at all. As for the amount of healing, it is also the same for every weapon, being 25 health for a wound popped when you are on the 2-set bonus, and 50 health gained for a wound pop when you're on the 4-set bonus. And to be clear, this does not require you to use a focus strike, it also triggers if you just destroy a wound by damaging the part while it's wounded. And this is an appreciable chunk of health that you get when you do so. That said, if you are comparing these 2 set bonus against each other to work out which is the stronger recovery focused effect, way back at the launch of the game, Guardian Arkveld set bonus was much better. Base monsters and standard tempered monster versions generate wounds all the time, and so the heals from that happened frequently. However, because this is tied to wounds, this gets significantly worse as you fight higher tier monsters, as a big thing they did with the increased star rating tempereds is increase their wound resistance. So with 9-star tempereds, as an example, these rarely ever get wounds despite their fight taking much longer than the easier versions of the Quest 2. And so the value of the Guardian Arkveld set bonus specifically drops off a cliff lift against higher difficulty quests, whereas the regular Arkveld's hunger set bonus does not change how it works at all based on the difficulty of your opponent. So basically, Guardian Arkveld's set bonus is better for easier fights in the game, and base Arkveld's set bonus is better for tougher fights. That said, to answer the question of if either of these armor sets getting a Gamma version might change up our builds in the endgame, the answer is probably. It is entirely likely that at least one piece of either armor set would have efficient enough ranks of weakness exploit to be worth using to reach the Lord Soul group bonus. And if we were to get Guardian Arkveld Gamma specifically, then we might even get some bonus value from Flayer ranks too, and again, at least one rank of Flayer is very meta right now. This brings me to the tertiary third option potential, which is the thing that excites me the most. What if they were to take all the things that are on both regular Arkveld and Guardian Arkveld armor sets and smush them together into one singular Gamma set? What if across all pieces it would have full weakness exploit, full Flayer, full elemental absorption, full convert element, and recovery skills? What if instead of getting two sets, one with each of the set bonuses, we got one set that had both set bonuses? Or I guess if they treated it as a new armor set in general, they could design a brand new set bonus, but that is probably asking a bit too much for an arch-tempered armor set. Instead, I think the wackiest result still within the realm of believability would be getting it to have both set bonuses on one armor set. That said, the concept of being able to get both Arkveld set bonuses together while still having efficient offensive skills on those pieces is much more intriguing to me. Especially with this being the final update of Wilds, it almost feels like a thing they might do. If they did that, it would let us create extremely enjoyable comfort builds that still have high offense while also having a lot of inbuilt survivability. Almost like having health augment was back in the Monster Hunter World endgame days too. I don't necessarily think that this result is likely, but given that regular Arkveld unlocks two high rank armor sets, I feel like it would be weird to only gamify the main Arkveld armor from an arch-tempered one, and at that point I don't think combining the two into one insanely potent final update set as a fun toy for the players is that much less likely than just getting two full Gamma armor sets. But we will find out quite soon what will actually happen with this, and when we do, I'll of course sit down and discuss it with you guys and talk about how big of a kerfuffle the new armor actually creates. For now, I hope you've all enjoyed this, and let me know your own thoughts or expectations for the arch-tempered equipment in the comments down below. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet. Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.